I never expected that over coffee, that we would find out that over the course of the last 8 years prior, how many times we had crossed paths.
I had been divorced for about 3 years, and I mean, it was the typical single mom. I was working, my son was just a baby. Really, my son Nicholas was just like, he was my world, and that's all I ever really wanted. I still had this Yahoo Personal account, and it was, you know, fun to check. And this guy, his face was just so stinking cute, but probably too cute, probably full of himself, not my style at all. He sent me this note that said, you're out of my league. I'm just a guy from a small mill town, but I love your smile, and I didn't think much of it. On the same day that I went to get my friend Stuart for lunch, and he's a photographer, I walked into his studio and there was the picture. I'm like, Stuart, who is this guy? Like, who is he? He's like, you mean Chris? I went to high school with him. He's a great friend of mine. So I'm like, Stu, I said, he's been, you know, on my Yahoo thing. I go, and I've been blowing him off. I think I literally, I don't even know, broke the sound barrier. Driving back to my house, I just remember like typing, like you have to call me. We have so many things in common. You're not going to believe this. I gave him my phone number, my address, my social security number, my where I work. Please don't let me be too late. A minute later, my phone rang.
She's crazy because she just sent me all this information about her, but then it was, you know, immediate elation after that, because I was like, holy cow, she really does want to talk to me. We had made plans to get together. I remember when she walked in and I was just floored.
And we sat down for coffee and
for 3 hours.
We
would find out that over the course of the last 8 years prior, how many times we had crossed paths. Family friend, she was always trying to set me up on blind dates.
He's great, and I think you would love him. And I'm like, nope, no blind dates.
So she mentioned Stuart, my friend who was a photographer. He had thrown this private party. We actually were sitting at tables right next to each other.
Years before I started in radio, I worked for a cellular company. When I left to go work for radio, and he took my place.
That's all we talked about for 3 hours, because one story would just lead into the next. I think the store could have blown up around us and I wouldn't have noticed it, because I've never had so much tunnel vision.
And we were walking back and we were holding hands, and I was just like, I never want to leave him. I never wanted to be without him.
I knew right then and there I was going to marry her, and that I was going to give her this letter on our wedding day. So we got married October 1st that same year.
In the letter it said, I'm going to give you this letter on the day that I marry you. You know, I promise I'm going to spend my life surprising you and loving you and making you happy. And
I've never been so anxious to give something to someone in my entire life as I was that letter. I've always wanted that kind of a relationship, that kind of marriage. It was a lot for me to finally get to a point in my life where I was able to write a letter like that to someone, or say those things about someone and give it to them or say it to them.
We kept missing each other at certain turns.
It's almost like there was someone trying to push us together, and then something happens and it doesn't happen, and we miss each other. And then they try again. Like, almost like there's this frustrated angel that's like, come on!
Yeah. I think there's no way that I wasn't gonna end up with him.